Jawshow Season 3, a kind of satire podcast designed to save the world or possibly end it. Brought to you in part by Blue Spirit Productions. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Check out my page for more info. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join me every Friday at 3 p.m. here, live on the Jawshow. You can find us everywhere. Join my evil empire today. Hello and welcome to the show, Jay. How you doing today? It's Jay Prep from Shade of Memories.
Hey, what's up? I am doing quite good. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very well myself. Had a very snowy day here in Minnesota today. I don't know about you, but we got snowed in.
Yeah, we had some snow up here, but not where I'm at.
We got about 2 feet of snow here, so some of us got a little bit more. But
I like to ski.
If you like to ski, you'd like it here today. So I'd like to say welcome you onto the show today. You're with
Thanks
the band Shade of Memories. And I guess I would like to learn just a little bit more about you and the band and what it is you do.
Well, I'm a solo artist currently. I don't have a lineup for this project, but it's been a slow built progress over the course of many years with a few ins and outs of stopping and go. Life gets in the way, and so, but trying to stay going, trying to have a good momentum to things I want to do, write, publish, and yeah, I'm enjoying it when I can. I work a full-time job on the side, so
you have to balance between that music career and working a full-time job as well.
That can be pretty tough sometimes, and I'm pretty worn out at the end of the day. But
I'm retired, so I don't have to worry about work anymore. But that's me, not you. So most of us have to do that on a day-to-day basis. So we most of us understand that having to work that life balance into question. So that's cool to know.
I work for the union, and I help support an electrical infrastructure, so that can be a little bit demanding.
Yes, I can understand how that can be very demanding. So I guess I would like you to describe what your music is like, kind of like what you describe your sound as.
I would say it's definitely a metal sound with the power influence progressive in the vibe.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got when I was listening to a lot of the signals that you have on your website, which we will put in about halfway through the show for all of you out there. Don't forget, you guys can like and subscribe. Don't forget, this is an NC-17 show, so sometimes I swear, and we don't worry about that here too much today. But I guess I kind of want to learn about how you got started. What was the first inspiration? What got you that bug to be a part of the music career? What sparked the bug in music for you?
Well, depending how far back you want to go. I mean, I've always had interest in playing an instrument. I could go all the way back to age 15, I guess. The next door neighbor picked up the guitar, and I can remember that when he did, I thought back like, man, I was age 7 when my grandfather took me to guitar lessons, and I was too young and put the guitar in the closet. It was sort of like an SG, what Angus Young's guitar looked like, except it was in Orlando, and I just wasn't ready yet. But when we got a little bit older, my brother and I, and the neighbor got into it, I'm like, man, he's really rocking it. I'm like, man, I need to pull that thing out of the closet anyway. And my brother, he ended up getting into it, and I followed shortly after that. And I just kind of kept up with it since. And then the desire of getting into a band took shape, and got into a little band called Fathom. We were a power trio, and we did pretty well in the local area. Just did a lot of shows, and then after a while, and then the band split up, went into another band after that, another band after that, and I never did never did quite complete the lineup for this project. I ended up just staying solo. I think it was maybe just perhaps easier just to I can get things accomplished. I can get things done on my own. Not that I didn't want other people, but when you mix personalities and life issues and schedules and girlfriends and kids, I'm 45. I mean, it gets to be pretty hard to hold things together and have everybody together and the same linkage, trying to put our artistic, let's say, our artistic images onto the canvas and make it all work out together. But I plan on putting some ads out for musicians. I'm not giving up on that concept entirely. It's just that
you got to establish yourself first and foremost to make sure that you know what you want. And then if you're the leader of the band, everybody else has got to fit your vision and your dream. And sometimes it's hard to find a match for that. Sometimes you find the right guitar player who has the wrong attitude. Sometimes you find the right attitude, but not quite the best guitar. It's a mixture of different things you have to juggle. So I understand.
And attitude is all about attitude, man. Having a good attitude. Don't mean to cut you short, but yeah.
No. I don't care. I like to let people cut me short. I'm a tall dude. I come down a couple inches. I wish I could take down the inches in Minnesota right now.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. I wish I could have seen that movie so bad. I can't even get out of the house to go do that. But seriously, some of the influences over the years with music for me was metal. Was one of the things that I grew up. We're pretty close in age. I'm only a couple of years older than you. I'm 48. So our musical taste should be pretty much around the same kind of stuff. We both kind of grew up around the same kind of music. So at least I kind of know where you're coming from. So I grew up with the Metallicas, the Guns N' Roses, the Anthrax, the Sevenfold, all that stuff. And that was for me, it was metal was my empowering music mode. That's what I listened to when I wanted to go exercise, or when I wanted to get out and just get some of that frustration out, or go knock down a couple of trees because I was really mad, or something like that. Because I was
absolutely something that keeps up with your heart rate.
Right, but mostly it was my way of. It wasn't a rebel for me. I didn't have the rebel part in me for that. It was more of an expression to let out that anger I need to let go of in my life, and it kind of helped me do that. So it was cathartic. Metal was very cathartic for me, and the music wasn't too bad too. Let's face it,
Absolutely.
So what were some of your musical influences for you?
Oh, no, along those lines of same as you. Oh man, Metallica, Skid Row, Black Sabbath, Pantera, Sepultura. After a while, I started to get into some different bands, and I really love Nightwish and Iron Maiden too, and Dragon Force and all that stuff. So yeah, I love it all pretty much. I've kind of not gotten so much into the death metal so much anymore. I used to, but I like a good singer in the band.
Right. I like some death metal, but it has to be done the right way for me. It can't be just screaming into a microphone. There's got to be a lyric to it. There's got to be a point to it, So, and I've had a couple of metal bands, heavy death metal bands on my show, and they were kind of the people where it's like they had a point, they had a vision. In real life they're nerds, but in other lives they're doing other things like playing bands and singing, screaming, things. So there are a lot of different bands out there in that kind of genre, but metal likes to stick together, even if you're a little bit farther apart in which higher range or lower range you like, depending. If you like it harder or not so hard, whatever your taste may be. Excuse me.
I've been hearing some great bands, Brothers in Metal, Unleash the Archers, Seven Kingdoms. I'm kind of more on the power metal.
So are you playing any kind of gigs right now, or doing anything out and about? Are you going out presenting yourself, or are you still kind of getting it ready for that?
I want to get ready for a lineup, although I had a guy message me the other day, wanted me to play the Vessel. It's a place out in Linwood over here, but it's not very much notice. So here and there I'll get requests, but it's been just I have been really practicing the live set so much these days, and probably just we'll have to tell them it's just too short a notice for it being just a couple weeks away without promotion and without having adequate practice. And I want to get geared up for writing more material and get ads out for musicians. And I released a single at St. Patrick's Day this year. I released an album the year before on St. Patrick's Day. I have a live video that's going to be actually released St. Patrick's Day this year, 23.
Cool.
And so I want to push that, and it's for one of the songs on the album, which is the self-titled album. Glaciers of Tomorrow is the song on the self-titled album, and so I'm excited to share that too.
So you've already made a couple of albums of your own. You got another one coming out here.
One album where I did everything. A single where I did a collaboration with the gal Priscilla Winslow, was over in Oklahoma, I think is where she's at. She did a marvelous job on Dark Summer Silence with me, and so we just did a share with the tracks back and forth. It wasn't like we met in the same room. That would have been desirable, but in this day of age with technology, we're able to pull that off pretty good. And
yeah, we can have to be here in Minnesota and not have to worry about getting out to a place to do in a studio today, and I can just sit here comfortably in my nice warm house, and you can sit comfortably nice in your warm house, and we're all done. We can go do what we need to do for the rest of the day, right?
It's nice that way, right? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
I've been on a few. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was about to say something, and then I heard you start to say something. So we got
Yep, it does that a lot. That's the one thing the internet.
Raw interview, you always kind of have to wait to see. Okay, when does this person finish saying everything they need to say and stuff like that? But that's why I like it, because people get to know you, and that's kind of where I was going next anyway. What would you like to tell people about you personally? Maybe they have heard of you before, but maybe they haven't met you or got to know you a little bit. So would you like to pass a little bit of information to anybody out there?
Yeah, so I work in a union job. I've been working for this union for about 14 years. And it's so many years that what did I do before that? I'd done a lot of warehouse work, done a lot of forklift driving, and worked, a little bit of fast food and that sort of thing. But I go in and I don't even pick up the forklift that much now. I do more of the the clerical stuff now, that just looking at order requests and emails and making sure that the materials are ordered and corresponding with engineers and foremans and for jobs that's coming up here in the next year or two. And I'm currently at the substation, so we house a lot of the big regulators and insulators and transformers, that you see at those big, those substations. And so I'm at the storeroom there. I'm essentially in the lead. I'm the storekeeper there.
So that's good to hear.
Besides work, I'm very much into fitness. I like to try to stay in shape, try to get my cardio, my weightlifting in, and just try to take care of things, keep my bills paid, and keep food on the table, and my rent paid, and keep the yard cleaned up, and keep things organized. I'm meticulous when it comes to things with how things are looking, like the stuff behind me, the speakers is turned a certain way, the lamps in a certain spot, guitars in a certain place. I'm organized like that. So
right.
I guess I'm what's the word?
OCD.
OCD.
Maybe a tiny bit OCD. Well, you can see my mess back here too. So
I guess we all are to some degree.
Everybody must have a different.
Losing an earbud. That's not.
Hey, stop trying to stop my evil plan, you evil people. So you're good to go?
I'm good to go.
Okay. Wanted to make sure, because I thought those evil people were going to cut you off or something like that. But I guess one last question for you before we check out some of your music here in just a little bit. I guess I just want to kind of connect with you and find out what you are passionate with the music. Does it have a message for you? Is there something that you're passionate about, that you get involved with at all?
Yes and no. Some of it the messages kind of run deep, and some of it does. It's kind of like a mix of what do you call that? Where you throw paint against the canvas. What is that?
That would be
seem to think of the word.
Yeah, me too. Because I actually paint that, because I have lots of paintings where I do lots of. You're kind of a freeform artist. You go with the flow. You're not really worried about what it looks like. You're going with the emotion, the beat, the stuff like that. You kind of go with. It's not necessarily a message. It's the feeling and what you want to convey at the moment, right?
Feeling and visual elementals
Right.
inside the music. So some of it, you might, if you hear the words, you might go, well, what's he actually talking about? And how can I give you an example? Well, Dark Summer Silence. We're going to talk about that.
Right.
One day in the summer, I got on the piano. My grandma left the piano behind, and she's passed away now. But I got on there and I dinked around, found a melody, and it was during the summer. And now I think there was some like depression kind of related stuff going on. So it was in the summer, and it was kind of the melody was kind of like a dark melody. So Dark Summer Silence, I called it. Came up with some words that fit with the melody, and tried to make the best sense of it. Had the visual element of volcano, so
Cool.
you'll see that a lot in the graphic and then the cover art.
So
And wrote something that made sense to the melody and that whole throw the paint against the canvas. I don't know how to explain it. It just turned into a song, and I sent the vocals to Priscilla. She said she loved them and sent me the melodies to it, and voila.
Voila. Well,
but I want to work on that too. I want to start writing stuff that's more relatable.
Right.
I think that's important in music also, is to be relatable with the lyrics of the music. And so with this next coming album, I want to be more focused in that.
That sounds great, Jay. I'm going to play a little bit of your music here, so I'm going to take us both off the screen while we watch and look at your website, and we'll play your song Dark Summer Silence. Can't get the.
Can I tell you about the video? There is a video for that too.
Oh, well, I brought up your video. Do you want me to bring up, because I already shared that, so you'll have to let me know where to find the video.
Oh, it's on YouTube. You can go to my page on YouTube.
Okay.
Wherever you want to do, though. I don't want to stop you.
Okay. Well, because I already had that set up and ready to go, that's what we'll go with today. But hey, you know what, guys? If you want to check out the music video, it is available on YouTube, and he'll tell us all about that later in the show, where he'll tell us his information, how to get a hold of him, and where to find him at, guys. So be sure to tune in to the end of the show here a little bit so you get that information. But right now, we're going to show a little bit of his music and his website. We'll be right back, guys.
Emptiness overcomes the internal mind. Dark summer, silent time. Volcanic ashes altering the internal mind. What's falling down within you? Falling into the underground. No escape but falling down into and cold black and madness. Deep inside, fires burning down the altars, flowing through you. Above us all, is an emotion through. Flames within you, flames within you. in you.
Well, welcome back. Thank you for letting me share your music today. I hope everyone got to enjoy that a little bit today with us. Finishing up on
Question.
Yes.
Yeah, I was in my headphones. Maybe it's just what I was hearing is out of your speakers. The sound just sound like the quality was wobbly. But
Okay.
when you post the show, is that going to be the same song? Is it going to be the actual like sonic track? Are they going to hear live?
With StreamYard, what it does is just to let everyone who wants to be a part of StreamYard, it records good for you and good for me so that when we put the show together, it should play off so you can hear it on my end. So you hear what I hear. So I hear the song like it's supposed to be played on your website.
So it will sound when it's posted like it is on the website.
Right, correct.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But you know what, Jay? I know. You're here to stop my evil plan.
You can't stop my evil plan.
That's right, you can't stop it.
Well,
So I have a question for you. If you could snap your fingers and make the world a better place, how would you save the world?
I could snap my fingers and make a better place. Everybody would be able to understand that everybody would love each other and there'd be forgiveness amongst everybody and all the evil would be just erased because everybody would know that everybody would just love everybody and everyone would be forgiven and there would be no reason to have evil then.
Well,
in my opinion, I think that would save the world. Now that may not save the world from an alien race, but that might save
you're trying to save it from me.
us.
In my evil plan, that's who you're trying to save it from. But you know, that's an important thing.
You'll just have to be loved, man.
Love and forgiveness is always a good thing for us to do. And sometimes we're good at that and we're bad at that because sometimes we're hurting really bad. It's really hard to forgive. And sometimes it's hard to give that love when it's us who are in pain and us who are trying to find a better thing in life, you know? Mm-hmm. And as we're doing this and going forward, along with what we're all doing, because what I try to show people is that we can do something in our professional life, our personal life, and have a passion that gives back to the world in some small way. That's what my show is really about. That's the real evil plan. Because, you know, I'm trying to trick you into doing the right thing. Because it shouldn't take a supervillain to make things go right in the world, you know, and you know, or it shouldn't take a super bad event or super bad thing to happen for us to just be kind, compassionate, and caring to one another and be forgiving and loving. So, what do you do out there in the world, even if it's the smallest thing, even if you do it at your own home? What do you do to try to contribute to give back to the world in your own small way?
Try to give the homeless when I can.
Cool. Now, I've been homeless, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. You know, so what I normally do is I buy like the meals for the homeless, or I try to give them something warm if it's a cold day, something cold if it's a warm day. Try to do something that will fill their belly. I don't always give out money, but when I do, it's usually someone I'm pretty sure they're going to use it for something like that. They're not going to go out and do other things with it. But once I give you the money, you do what you want with it. That's me just being a kind, compassionate person, even though I'm an evil villain, right? Right.
I've done both, you know, money or food.
Yeah. You know, especially when you got really bad weather like this, if you have the money to go buy even the cheapest kids' tent in the world, trust me, they would love that. You know, it doesn't take a lot of money. You can go to the thrift store and buy a couple of blankets so they can throw over themselves if it's a cold day out. If it's a hot day out, well, maybe, you know, bring them instead of bringing them a pop, you bring them a big thing of ice cubes they can just sit on all day that'll help them out there. Because in Minnesota, it can be very hot or very cold depending on what Mother Nature decides to do. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So, is there anything that you would like to promote, that you would like to put out to the audience, that you would like to put out so that they can come see you? Or, like you said, you had that single coming out, and that's coming out on March 17th, right? And what was the name
Correct.
of that? The single.
Glacier's up tomorrow.
Oh, comes out tomorrow.
Glacier's up tomorrow.
Glacier.
Doesn't come out tomorrow. Yeah. I'll release that video on the 17th of March.
Okay. So be on the lookout for that, guys. You can check out one of those things. That'll be available where?
That'll be available on YouTube at least. Then
Okay,
some other
YouTube.
places I haven't determined yet, but at least YouTube.
All right, and there will be some more information on his website. So if you guys want to check out a lot of what he's got here, here's how you can contact him. It's Reverb Nation at Shades of Memory. And then you can also contact him here as well if you want to find out more information about him or his band or how he's doing with his music and stuff. That's what we're here to do today. It's just to promote you a little bit, show you a little bit of the Jawshow love, to give you, a platform. Hello, I think he disappeared.
Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Where'd you go?
I tried to look at the screen, but I noticed I can't always switch screens while the video is going.
I
was gonna see it.
For a second there, I thought
maybe I could pass a link or something, but yeah, I won't keep you in the dark.
No worries. You know what? We can do that later. So if you guys want to find out more information, we'll post some of the links in my chat on my events page, and you can also check out some of those things. We'll do it in the discussion part. So if you guys want to find out more information about it, we will post some of those links for you there.
What is the Jawshow?
The Jawshow.
What is J.A.W? Is that
J.A.W. Athrith Walkfire? That's my full evil name.
What is it?
J.A.W. Athrith Walkfire.
Oh wow.
That's my official evil name. So I connected it to the Jawshow because that was just way too long to put on, for Jawshow. It's also kind of a tick on we're jawing, we're talking, Jaw.
Got it. That makes sense. Makes total sense.
So that's what I'm about. When I first started this, I started it during the pandemic, being bored out of my mind, and I came up with this concept of I can do something to help save the world, but how can I do it in a fun way? So I came up with the Jawshow. J.A.W. was honestly that young part of my life we were talking about. He was the guy who was able to stand up to the bullies. He was the guy who could help me overcome. He was the guy who listened to the heavy metal music, who helped me get through all of the. He was kind of my personal empowerment, the darker part of my soul that I thought I didn't want to let out, because I've always been a really shy, good kid, but I never really empowered myself until I kind of gave into some of my other impulses, like standing up for myself, which I thought at the time I didn't want to be the mean kid. I wanted, because I've always been a big kid, so everyone's always been scared of me, So, I tried to make it into something fun. So in my past, it was kind of a little bit darker than that, but I've turned it into something that's now a little bit more fun and light, and it kind of gives people a chance to, go like my whole point of the show is it shouldn't take a super villain, a super bad event, or anything to do something good in this world, even if something small every day,
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the Jawshow. And I also promote local artists, businesses, and talents, such as you, Jay. But
Thank you.
So I really, really appreciate you being here with us today. We're gonna play.
I appreciate you too. Thank you very much.
And I really enjoyed your interview and getting to know you a little bit. And I really did like a lot of the music that you. I really liked the Fire one too. I think I took down the site now, but like Fire.
That little shorty.
Yeah, that little shorty. Yeah. I really liked that one, just because it kind of kindled the little love inside of me, going, this could be a theme song.
It's the second track on the album. Today, if you listen to the whole album in sequence, it ramps up. It ramps up, right? And that little short song, and then it breaks into an actual song. And there's a lot of intro-y stuff in the music in there. I don't know how much you've listened to, but and I like the experimental value of that album. But yeah, the next album, I kind of want to be more focused on a point,
Right.
Like what is it going to sound like all together? Is it going to go like this, or is it going to be? I mean, it can still go like this, but it will have more of a solid point that I'm going for. So,
all right. Well, that's awesome. Like I said, I really want to thank you for being here on the Jawshow today and answering all of my silly questions. Don't forget to check him out, guys. If you follow him on his webpage or any of his Facebookies, linkies, stuff like that, we'll put some of those link trees or things we can get after the show. You can check those out. in that as well. See, I don't even do a good job at this sometimes. So
Doing just fine.
we will see you tomorrow. We're going to play a couple of other things that's sponsored today by me and my friend here. Just the Booster Productions is my production company. That's what I produce people out of. The Jawshow, of course, is brought to you in part by The Unknown Prophet. That's my mediumship work where I do a lot of medium services for people. I do that only for spiritual reasons. I'm also part of the P3 Paranormal Partnership Program, and I'm also a part of a group called Music Network One, a networking site that's designed to help music artists get their music out to others. So if you're interested in it, please check out those more below or contact me.
So these places I can go check out, right?
Yeah, it's a nice place for you to check out. If you want to, wherever you're located in the area, and we can talk a little bit about this off the air, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that after this, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to play my last commercial, and then we'll be done with everything for right now. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching the Jawshow. I really appreciate you coming to watch my show today. Don't forget, if you have an interesting business, craft, and or talent, or do anything interesting, or even an interesting person who would like to be on my show, all you have to do is contact me via my Facebook Messenger or my email at jawshow@bluesphereproductionsllc.com. I am available on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, you'll never stop my evil plan. Bye. See you later.